scenery, the river, and I was just so excited.
There she goes again, eating instead of posting another video.
What the hell?
Oh shoot, do you think she heard us?
She definitely heard us.
Did I have too much milk yesterday?
Wait, what?
I think she thinks we're the milk.
Hello?
Oh my god, is she stupid? What the hell?
Dude, she's an idiot.
We're not in the milk, you dummy.
Maybe she's just not aware that she can have a subconscious.
My subconscious?
Yes, you idiot.
Fuck, I drank too much milk today.
Since you can clearly hear us, it's about time you face your fear and do a part 2. They're waiting.
Okay. Part 2? Ow! Whoa!
Yes, a part 2. Remember you were revamping your wattpad into a webtoon? Come on, we need more, lady, we need more.
And what if I don't want to?
Then I have no choice.
Who? That was spooky. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Teresa. I go by Thor Store online. And if you are new here, welcome. And if you're not new here, how you doing? Okay. I'm awkwardly flirting with all of you. So if you weren't aware, this video is a part 2 of revamping my cringy ass wattpad, The Bad Girl's Little Servant. So in the previous video, we revamped our main character, Tatiana. Before we revamped her, she was kind of like, I wear leather, I'm so bad, I ride my motorcycles, I have terrible anger issues, I will kill you. And now she's kind of like, I have anger issues, but like, there's a reason. I have a past, and don't cross me, because I will be upset. She's that kind of girl now. It's just a lot more depth, I guess. In this video, we're going to be redesigning her twin sister, Amy, which we also read about in the previous video. And we are going to also be redesigning our male lead, which is Blake, aka Dylan O'Brien. That man still has my heart. If you guys want to check out part 1, if you haven't already, it is linked in the description and linked down below, so check that out. Before we even dive into the redesigning, we need to kind of figure out who these characters are. We already know who Amy is, but do we know who Blake is? No, you don't. Guess what that means? That means we're gonna have to read another chapter. Okay, I'm so sorry. That was very dramatic. So we're going to have a dramatic reading. Yay! I know you guys like the dramatic reading. I'm gonna make it even more dramatic. Oh yeah, by the way, you see this hand and all of my fingers are not done, but this is. So I got bored and I just painted it and it looks so bad. I would show you, but like this is not gonna allow it. Allow it. Oh, it's terrible. Yeah, I got really bored. Anyway. Welcome to the dramatic reading. There are a few disclaimers I want to add before I start with this dramatic reading. The first is I was 12 to 14 when I wrote this. I was pretty annoying, so we're going to see that through the writing, and I hope you're okay with that. The second thing is there's no people of color in this, and you're like, but I know I was a very disturbed kid. I read the stuff that people could run their hands through their hair, and I was like, Physically, it is impossible for a person like me to do that, so I'm not going to make any of my characters be that. I also thought no one was gonna read it if they were black. That's kind of weird, right? That voice is terrible to do, oh my god. Anyway, that is a disclaimer. Okay, let's get into it. We're going to read chapter 2. This is the chapter where we get introduced to our male lead, Blake. I started reading like the first 2 lines and I was like, okay, I can't keep reading this because I need y'all to get my raw reaction because it's a doozy. It's a doozy. This is in Blake's point of view. Oh my god, brace yourselves, guys. I sigh as I look into the mirror, giving myself a daily pep talk. This is your senior year, Blake, and you need to make it your year. I smile at myself, proud. You're the smartest guy in your year, and you're captain of the baseball team. Sure, you're not a very strong person, but as long as you get out of everyone's way, you'll be fine. This guy's got some issues. Blake, pancakes are ready. My mom yells from the kitchen. Coming, Ma. I exclaim. I put on my beanie and glasses and then smile to myself. One last thing, I say to my reflection in the mirror. Make me proud, sport.
Hey, I'm still checking in. Are you there? Are you okay? This is really cringe. Are you okay? Are you still there? Keep going. We can do this. Me and you together.
I don't know if I'll emotionally recover from that. Definitely the cringiest thing I've read so far. I'm sorry. Make me proud, sport, to yourself in the mirror. This feels like there's no father in this. There's no father. Once I feel ready to go to school, I nod and get out of the bathroom. I approach the kitchen and kiss my mom on the cheek. Morning, I greet. Oh, hey, sweetie. Do you mind packing the stuff away? She says, pointing at the things she used to make pancakes. Sure, why not? I sigh and start packing the things that she had used away. Mom! My sister, Alexis, yells. I turn around and take in her appearance. She looked like she got out of bed and a wet raccoon died on her head. Damn, that's a little brutal. Hey sis, I chirp. Why is there a bird's nest on your head? Oh my gosh, it's that bad? She exclaims in shock. This going back and forth between the voices is so fun, I won't lie to you. Oh honey, my mother coos, not aware of how her daughter looks. I bet it's... She stops short as she looks at the disaster. Whoa! She drops the spoon she had in her hand. OMG, it is that bad! Alexis starts panicking and paces around the kitchen on the brink of tears. She is way too dramatic. Oh, come on, Squirt. I shrug, not really thinking much of the mess. You totally pull it off. I tease, finishing my pancakes off. Why, you little... She grumbles, giving me a death glare in the process before I interrupt her. Mom, could you take her to school? I don't need people to know that we're related for now. Oh my god, he is such a dick. I say it right before I take the syrup and pour it into my mouth. Oh, he was so unhinged. Oh, he's actually so unhinged. Yeah, please, Mom. I don't want people to know I'm related to that thing. Alexis retaliates, looking at me with a disgusted expression. Bye, Mom, and stay ugly, munchkin. I grab my car keys and walk away. Something tells me I'm going to have a good day. I get out of my car to only have eyes on me. I smirk, feeling a little cocky, and start walking into the school. Blake, my best friend, says, pointing at me with a knowing grin. Chris? I grin back cheekily, having not seen my friend in a long time. We give each other fist bumps because hugging each other is gay, and then start walking together. So, how was your summer? I ask, trying to create small talk. He smiles and looks at me. I met a girl, he says with a silly grin. You want to know how I met her? Oh, I say, feigning interest, and rest my head in my hand. Do tell. So he says, oh, do tell. He's actually low-key charming, you know. He's kind of cute. I don't know. I'm being very biased right now. He rolls his eyes and smiles all silly again. As he's about to say anything, the bell rings for the first class. Saved by the bell, I raise my fist to the air victoriously. Catch you later, Chris. I salute him. I didn't really enjoy the first 3 periods as I normally would. Maybe it was because of all the pressure they decided to dump on me, especially since it's our last year here and how they decided to lecture us about the real world and blah blah blah. I sit down on the lunch table and wait for Sean and Chris to show up. I look up from my phone to look at someone who catches my attention. An intimidating looking girl sitting alone, looking bored out of her mind. Let's see who she is, shall we? I stand up and get ready to approach her when the 2 people I've been waiting for suddenly show up. Hey man, where are you going? Chris asks me. Nowhere. Forget about it. I shake my head and sit back down, waving it off. I think he's lost it again. Sean, my other close friend that I had greeted earlier, says to Chris. I know, right? Chris agrees, shaking his head at me. I roll my eyes at him and look at the lunch line. Since I waited here like a lonely rabbit, why is the rabbit lonely and is that a phrase? Is my first question. You 2, I motion my hand to the both of them. They both look at me weirdly for referring to myself as a rabbit. Oh, okay. What? I couldn't come up with anything else. That's kind of funny. You 2 are going to get me lunch. I shoo them. Off you go. I rid of them, wanting to go up and talk to the girl I was about to make friends with. I have to be friends with everyone. Oh, people pleaser. No, go fetch it yourself, Chris says annoyed. I shake my head at this, feigning disappointment. You know what? You people are just so ungrateful, I say dramatically. Besides, I'm not even that hungry. I wave a dismissive hand at them. And then I look over to the girl who is now accompanied by Amy. They sit down, the both of them beside me. Who is that girl? I ask them, my eyes still on her. Who? They ask simultaneously, their heads whipping side to side. The one that's talking to Amy Ramirez. I say, my eyes still stuck on her. I hear a gasp from beside me, and I turn to see Sean, wide-eyed. Oh, you don't know that crazy bitch? Sean, oh my gosh, relax. What the heck? She flipping almost killed someone because they were towing her bike. She's psychotic, damn it. And you know what, Sean? Yes, she is. She's a little crazy. Calm down, Sean, Chris yells. You don't know what she's been through, he says, siding with the supposed psychopath. Am I missing something here? I ask, confused beyond belief. So am I. Chris sighs and looks over to me. That, he points in the girl's direction, is Amy's twin sister. What? I ask in disbelief. That doesn't make sense. I think I would have known her or heard of her at least once, since she was claimed to be psychotic. What does Chris mean by don't know what she's been through, though? I have never been so confused in my entire life. I know, right? Amy is so popular and nice and has a warm personality, and she is just violent and mean and evil, Sean says, shuddering at the last thing he said. He was acting a little too dramatic for my liking. I look back at her and rest my head in my hand. She is hot. I say, and then look at Sean, whose mouth had fallen agape. I shrug and look back at her. She is. Dude, I can't believe you don't know her. Everyone knows her. She scares the shit out of everyone. Sean says, clearly overreacting. Why? I ask him, still looking at her, not particularly interested in what he had to say. She spent half of her summer in juvie. How is that hot? It's crazy. I scoff and shrug. If that's not hot, I don't know what is, man. Blake is a hoot. I'm sorry. I like him. If I were you, I would stay away. Sean warns as he stands up to take his junk to the trash. I look at Chris and arch an eyebrow, surprised with Sean's over-exaggerated outburst. Mind telling me what that was about? He shrugs in return, as clueless as I am, picks up his tray and follows Sean's tracks, leaving me alone at the lunch table contemplating if I should get to know her or not. That is the end of the chapter. Yeah, that was really fun. Oh my gosh. Let us get into the character creation. Hello guys. Obviously I look cracked, but I wanted to be real with you guys. You know, this is the real me. Tried and true. Most of the time you'll see me looking like this. Anyways, I wanted to walk you guys through the character creation process for Amy and Blake. First off is Amy. The thing we found out about Amy while we were reading the book last time was that she's nice, she's funny, likable, approachable, perfect, I guess. The opposite of Tatiana, basically. And she kind of feels like a Mary Sue. Like, there's literally nothing wrong with her from the get-go. I mean, you can't really say much about her. She's just like someone that Tatiana puts on a pedestal, and I kind of wanted to flesh that out a little more. But before we get into her personality, I wanted to talk about the way that she looks. For her character design, I was inspired by Rory Gilmore from the Gilmore Girls. Mind you, I've never watched it, but I really like Rory's style. I feel like she gives a girl next door vibe, and I think that's definitely something that Amy gives as well. And obviously she's Tatiana's twin, so she looks exactly like Tatiana, but they're also fraternal twins. And you know what, that came to my advantage, because I did state in the old book that they were fraternal twins, and I kind of don't know how to draw the face the same, unless I do know how to draw a face the same, and I have same face syndrome, but that's another chat. But I've always struggled with drawing the same face twice. Like, I still struggle to this day. So I was honestly glad that they were fraternal twins, because yeah, babe, they don't really look that much alike if we were to compare the two. And yeah, so personality wise, let's move on to her personality. I don't want her to be perfect, because she's clearly not perfect. She is a human being. So I wanted her to still have some flaws. As you know, Tatiana kind of puts her on a pedestal, and I wanted to bring her down a notch. So something about Amy's kindness is that she's kind because she wants something back. So that's a very complicated character to write, because you never know if their heart is in the right place, and honestly, they never know if their heart is in the right place. I felt like if Tatiana and Amy lived in the same place, and Tatiana is so like hectic in everything she does, she's got real anger issues, you know, and she doesn't trust people that much. Like, shouldn't Amy, who has definitely grown up in the same situation, be a little fucked up too? I was like, okay, when she is kind, she definitely expects something back from other people. You know, when people are like, oh, kindness is 0 rand or something like that. Kindness comes with a price to Amy, 100%. So, you know, I mean, I guess that's also another way she got popular at school and why everybody knows her, because she's just kind in that way. I also think that Amy is not out there. The fact that her and Tatiana are sisters, like, she's not the one to bring it up. Like, if someone asks her if they're sisters, she's not gonna say no, but she's not gonna try and get caught with her sister, you know. She kind of avoids the situation or avoids the topic a lot, but when they're at home, she's like, all lovey-dovey to her sister and stuff. She's just like, she's a popular girl. I wouldn't say mean girl, but you know, she has those tendencies, and I thought that would be perfect for her character. Next is Blake Miller. Blake Miller, I will not lie, he is my favorite character out of all three. Not because of his character design or anything. I just feel like he's everything. Like, you can completely tell his character immediately just from reading that second chapter, and I think it was a good introduction, honestly. Blake Miller, he is a people pleaser, he's extroverted, class clown, charming, and daddy issues. Yeah, Blake is an enigma to me. When I wrote him in that last chapter, I was like, really? I remember kind of being so confused on how to write him because he was so opposite of me. And he was just like, he was a fun time, but I didn't know how to deal with people who were a fun time and also had daddy issues. He's also a boy, by the way, and I never talked to boys like that. Like, earlier on in my life, no, I did not talk to boys. I did not talk to the boys. They had cooties. So it was really hard to write him. But, I mean, honestly, in that little head of mine, I was just pulling all the stops, and he ended up being the most dynamic character. He didn't feel like just one thing. I mean, he is a stereotype 100%, but I felt like he had a little more depth to him. So for what I drew specifically, my inspo for him was like beach boy in the city vibes. So his hair, I didn't know if I wanted to make him brunette like the past Dylan O'Brien, the original cast member in my Wattpad series, but I was debating, and I thought, oh my gosh, blonde hair and brown eyes, that is such a cute combo. Like, I barely see people with blonde hair and brown eyes. I barely ever see that unless they dyed their hair. So I was like, oh my gosh, an enigma. So I had to make him have brown eyes and blonde hair, and I was like, oh my gosh, he's just like so cute. I also made him a little pudgier, like, you know, a big boy, but he's not really a big boy. I mean, he's big in a sense that he eats good, and I think he's the captain of the baseball team. So I wanted him to like look a little thick, but he also exercises every day, so he's just like in the middle. And he's also just like big boned. I don't know, I'm not objectifying him or anything, I'm just saying that's what I was thinking when I drew him, and I thought, oh yeah, that makes sense. That feels like Blake. Like, he's just a little charming rascal, he's so goofy, you know. So yeah, with his personality, I stayed really close to his vibe because I feel like Blake is just an open book. You can immediately figure out what his intentions are as soon as he approaches you, and that's kind of opposed to Tatiana, because with Tatiana, you can't really figure out her personality. She's very to herself. She doesn't say anything, but she obviously will blow. Well, she doesn't. It's not like she doesn't say anything. I think Tatiana's blunt, whereas he's blunt in a different way. Like, he has a filter and he can say things that will charm you. But with Tatiana, she's not very charming. She's just very something else. So I felt like his personality and her personality kind of complement each other in those ways, and I didn't want to change it too much. So yeah, also he is a people pleaser, and I think it is because of his daddy issues. It just makes sense to me, you know. Dad is nowhere to be seen. Not that he ran away, but maybe he's a pilot or something. I don't know, I'm trying to figure that out. Comment down below if you want Blake's father to be a pilot or if you want him to not be in his life. Either way, Blake is not having a good time. What I can take away from this character revamping is that shape language is super important when you're designing your characters. If we compare Amy and Tatiana is very sharp and angular, and you can feel it because her personality is the same. When you look at her eyes do look a little dead, but they also look, you know, sharp and angular. When you look at Amy's eyes, they look a little alive, you know, they're round, full of life. And I want to kind of lean into that more when I create my own original characters, maybe in a fantasy setting, because I feel like in fantasy settings you can definitely lean into shape language a lot more. Anyway, yeah, I really love how they turned out, guys. Oh, they're cutie patooties, all three of them, but Blake is my favorite, definitely. He's just so cute. Like, look at him. He's brown eyes. Oh, so cute. So yeah, that is it. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Hey guys, this is the end of the video. I just wanted to share some of my final thoughts on everything. First of all, thank you so much for watching from the beginning to the end. It's always really hard for me to make these videos shorter because there's a whole dramatic reading thing and it takes a while to get through that whole chapter. So I always feel bad when it's like, oh, it feels like it's taking too long, but like I can't edit it less if I want you to hear. Whoever appreciates that part, which is completely fine. I know that people who commented on the last one did appreciate the dramatic reading, so I'm keeping it in. The next thing I wanted to say was, okay, so I know that I keep prefacing that, oh, there's no people of color here. I think that there might be a thing of where people think that I'm gonna like change the races of the characters, and I don't actually want to do that. I kind of want to keep it one-to-one, almost one-to-one, but obviously better. So I want to keep the characters as they always were. They were always their ethnicity, so I'm gonna keep them that ethnicity. Like, I don't want to change them because that ethnicity is part of them, and I did think of them in that way because yeah, I just felt like I needed to say that because I don't want anyone to be confused as to why I kept my main characters the same. Another thing that I wanted to kind of let you guys know is we're going to do a part 3 of the series, and I need your help. Which would you guys prefer that we work on? Would you prefer we work on chapter 1? Would you prefer we work on chapter 2? Or would you prefer we work on the main characters meet cute? Because their meet cute is really like, it's actually so unhinged. It kind of started off with Tatiana saving Blake from getting like killed or something like that. I don't remember, but she's a boss ass bitch. So I don't know, you let me know how you feel about that and what you would like to see the most. Also, another thing, I'm sorry, I'm going to self-plug myself, but I have a coffee. Please check it out. There is a fundraiser going on right now. I kind of accidentally started an art business, and I'm going to Comic-Con in August, end of August, so I need the money. Also, I offer commissions. If you are interested in that, like, definitely check that out. And also, more on that later, guys. I have so much to do for this con. I will definitely show you some of my studio vlogs and probably my webtoon and how I am trying to juggle all of that with the most limited time. It's crazy. Anyways, thank you guys for watching again. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love creating videos. I love creating in general, so when I see people like are actually appreciating that more and more, I'm just filled with so much, because that's all I did and that's all I do since the beginning of time. Definitely like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will catch you in the next video. Bye.